review and outlook. Good morning. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, I want to see your comments. You're welcome to today's session. So go straight to business. So I would start by looking at Australian dollar USD. Like I told you guys, my bias on Australian dollar USD this week is bearish. My bias remains bearish for the week, but I'm expecting price to pull back. Let me start with the daily time frame. I'm expecting price to pull back to clear this liquidity. Okay, that's my expectation. Okay, as you can see, price is currently trading at a support level. You can see there's a strong rejection from that support level. Now, if we consider how yesterday candle closed, it looks like an hammer. Okay, and it just tested a support level. You can see support at this point, support at this point. Now, if this support is broken, we should expect more bearish move on Australian dollar USD. Okay, if this support is broken. Now, after the close of yesterday candle, if we are able to identify a bullish reversal pattern on 4 hour, then we should consider buying Australian dollar USD today. So the pattern on the 4-hour time frame and 1-hour time frame will determine, okay, if we should go bullish on Australian dollar USD. Okay, so let's go to 4 hour. Let's see what we had on 4 hours. So you can see how yesterday candle closed on 4-hour time frame. Can you see on 4-hour time frame we had an inverted hammer? Can you see that we had an inverted hammer? And the next candle that closed as a bullish candle, and it closed above the high of that inverted hammer. That tells me that we have more buyers. Okay, that tells me that demand is increasing. Okay, and there is a high probability for price to go bullish. So right now, AUDUSD is bullish. If you are considering selling, I would suggest you wait for price to break this support zone, or you call it your demand zone. If you are considering selling, like I said, the bias for the week is bearish. So I'm waiting for the major news to be released. A major news will be released today, I think by 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. If the major news favors Australian dollar, and if the major news favors the dollar and a candle closes below this demand zone, I would go bearish. Okay, but with what we have on the chart right now, please note that right now Australian dollar USD is bullish. If I'm to take any trade on Australian dollar USD right now, it has to be a buy. Okay, I would only consider selling if this support is broken. Okay, so we had what looks like an engulfing pattern. That's because the candle closed above the high of the inverted hammer, bearish inverted hammer. So since we have what looks like an engulfing, let's go down to 1 hour time frame and see what we had on 1 hour time frame. Okay, so you can see what we had on 1 hour time frame. Okay, this is 1 hour time frame. I think there was a shift in market structure at this point, right? There was a shift in market structure at this point. This candle, as you can see, closed above the high of this candle. This was the last lower high, right? This was the last lower high on this bearish structure. Now this candle still closed above it, so that's a shift in market structure. And after a shift in market structure, price is expected to pull back to fill a fair value gap. I'm sure a fair value gap was created, okay, after the shift in market structure. So if you look at 1 hour, if you're 1 hour, you wouldn't see that fair value gap. That is why you need to go down to lower time frame. So let's go to 15 minutes. If we can't find the fair value gap on 15 minutes, we have to go down to the next lower time frame. So on 15 minutes, we had a fair value gap at this point. You can see we had a fair value gap at this point. This is on 15 minutes time frame. Can you see that? Price didn't get to that fair value gap. You would also notice that on 15 minutes time frame, okay, you can see liquidity has been cleared at this point. Can you see? This is the low of Asian session. This is the low of Asian session. Liquidity was cleared, and you'll see the pattern we have here is a bullish reversal pattern. Am I right? Yeah. This is a bullish reversal pattern after liquidity has been cleared. Can you see that? Now let's go down to 5 minutes. Okay, so we had a fair value gap here on 15 minutes. Now it could be that we had a fair value gap on 5 minutes. That is why price didn't get to this fair value gap on 15 minutes. So let's go to 5 minutes and see what we had on 5 minutes at this point. Okay, let's go to 5 minutes. Okay, so on 5 minutes, you would see we had a fair value gap here, and that could be the reason price didn't get to that 15-minute fair value gap. You can see we had a fair value gap here. Can you see this? I believe you can see it. We had a fair value gap here. Okay, we had one here too on 5 minutes. We had a fair value gap here. The gap in between this and this, but this gap got filled. Can you see the gap in between this and this? As you can see, that gap got filled. Now let's see. So you can see why price didn't get to that 15-minute fair value gap. Can you see the reason why it didn't get to this 15-minute fair value gap? Liquidity was cleared. This gap on 5 minutes, which we just identified on 5 minutes, got filled. And you can see how price is respecting that gap. You can see the rejection from that gap. So right now, Australian dollar USD is bullish. If you're buying Australian dollar USD, your stop loss should be below the fair value gaps, because they might still want to test those fair value gaps. So your stop loss must be below the fair value gaps. If I'm to buy Australian dollar USD right now, my stop loss will be 10 pips, at least 10 pips below the low of this candle. 10 pips below the low of this candle. That is where I would set my stop loss. So if I calculate the risk, if I'm setting my stop loss 10 pips below the low of this candle, it means my stop loss will be at 6547. 6547, and the current market price is 6576. That's about 30 pip stop loss. 30 pips stop loss. So if I'm risking 30 pips, then I should be aiming for at least 50 pips. 50 pips as my take profit, which is about 1:1.7 risk reward. 1:1.7 risk reward. It shouldn't go below that. It shouldn't go below that. So that's my take on Australian dollar USD. Okay. Now, if you are buying, you know you're trading against is counter trading. Right? You're counter trading. So that's why your TP should not be too high. Okay. So immediately the market starts moving in your direction, you make 20 pips, 30 pips, adjust your stop loss to break even. Adjust your stop loss to break even. That's because you're trading against the trend. The trend can change anytime. It can change anytime. So you need to be adjusting your SL as the market moves in your direction. Once you make 20 pips or 30 pips, you should adjust your stop loss to break even. That's my take on Australian dollar USD. Let's move to the next page. If there's anything you want me to analyze, please drop it in the comments section. Drop it in the comment section. Euro Aussie. I have a trade on Euro Aussie. I took this trade yesterday and it's been bearish. I'm in good profit right now on Euro Australian dollar USD, and I still believe it is bearish. Okay, I still believe it is bearish, but my weekly bias on Euro Australian dollar is bullish. Okay, my weekly bias is bullish. What I'm currently trading now is counter trend. It's counter trend. Okay, I know it's counter trend. So let's see. This is daily. As you can see how yesterday candle closed, it looks like a shooting star, right? It looks like a shooting star. So let's go down to 4 hour. The pattern on 4 hour should be a bearish reversal pattern for us to sell today. It has to be a bearish reversal pattern. Let's go to 4 hour. So you can see the pattern that formed on 4 hour. This is an engulfing pattern. Can you see it? This is an engulfing pattern. This is a bearish reversal pattern which formed close to this resistance level. Okay. When a bearish reversal pattern forms at a resistance level, there's a high probability that that resistance would hold price. Yeah. So this is a zone. That is a supply zone. So when a bearish reversal pattern forms at a resistance zone or a supply zone, there's a high probability that that pattern is going to play out. There's a high probability that that pattern is going to play out. That's my bias. That's why my bias. That's why I took a sell on Euro Australian dollar. And as you can see, a fair value gap was created after the formation of this engulfing pattern on 4 hour. A fair value gap was created, and this is where I'm expecting price to pull back to. This is where I'm expecting price to pull back to. They tried filling the gap at this point, but they did not fill it. They just tested that gap. It wasn't filled. So there is a high probability that price will fill this gap before going bullish. So I'm expecting price to drop to this zone for me to buy. I'm currently selling. So immediately price drops to this zone, I'm going to close my sell trade and look for buy opportunity. Okay, I'm going to close my sell trade and look for buy opportunity. If you apply your Fibonacci, take it from this swing low to this swing high, you can see. So I want price to pull down to a discount level, let's say level 75. That is my target. That is my target, level 75. This is where I want price to come to before I buy. Okay, so when price drops into this zone, I'll look out for a bullish reversal pattern to form in that zone. That is when I will consider buying Euro Australian dollar. But right now, I'm currently selling. I'm selling it right now. Okay, so which other pair do you want me to analyze? Which other pair? If you're getting value from this stream, please ensure you like and also share the link with your friend. Okay, share the link, like. If this is your first time participating, do subscribe to the channel. Please do subscribe to the channel so that anytime I come on live, you'll be notified by YouTube, or anytime I drop a video, you'll get notification from YouTube. Is there any other pair you want me to analyze? Let me know. Let me know. EU, okay. C and says EU, Euro Aussie. I've analyzed Euro Aussie. Okay, let's look EU and EJ. Okay, EU. Let's look at EU. EU. Okay, so my bias for EU this week is bearish. That's my bias. Okay, that's my bias for EU. It's bearish, but I want to see price pull back before selling EU. I want to see price pull back. Right now, price is at okay, is at a support. Okay, price is at a support. Okay, but I want to see EU pull back to a premium level. Okay, I want to see EU pull back. As you can see, a fair value gap was created here. So I'm expecting price to fill this gap. Okay, that's my expectation on EU. I want them to fill this gap. Okay, and it's also possible for them to come clear liquidity, to push price up to clear liquidity at this high and at this high. They might use the major news to clear liquidity before going bearish. That is my expectation on Euro USD. The weekly bias is bearish. It is bearish. For those who have executed sell on Euro USD, congratulations, you have made some good profits. If you don't have a trade on Euro USD, I would not advise that you sell Euro USD at the current market price. Okay, accept that you have missed that move. Accept. Okay, patiently wait for price to pull back. Okay, before you sell. Patiently wait for price to pull back. You cannot sell Euro USD at this current market price unless you want to take that high risk. You are okay with that high risk. I would not advise that you sell at the current market price. Wait for price to pull back, okay, before you sell. So I'll be considering selling Euro USD around this area, okay, around this area. Like I said, it's possible they want to come and clear liquidity at this high. So if I'm selling around this area, my stop loss will be like 20 or 30 pips above this level. Depends on the candlestick pattern or price action before the news is released. That will determine where I'm going to set my stop loss. Okay, for example, if price pulls back to this zone before the news is released, my stop loss will be far above this high, because I know liquidity is residing at this previous high and they might want to clear it. So I cannot set my stop loss at this level. It has to be far above. Okay, it has to be far above. Like I told you guys, if a major news is to be released, you cannot use 20-30 pips as your stop loss. If you use that, they only earn for it before the market will go in your direction. So you should be looking at 40-50 pips minimum when a major news is being expected. Okay, so that's my take on EU. I'm still bearish on EU, but I want to see price pull back to a premium level or wait for liquidity to be cleared before I I execute a sell trade on Euro USD. Okay, so that's my take on Euro USD. I hope that is clear. Let's look at UJ. Okay, I expect UJ to sell. That's my expectation on UJ. I cannot buy UJ at the current market price. I feel it is expensive, is at premium, so I'm not considering buying UJ at the current market price. I want price to pull back. I want price to pull back to a discount level before, as you can see, a fair value gap was created here, and I don't think that fair value gap has not been filled. So there is a high, they might want to come back and fill this fair value gap. Okay, there's a high probability they might want to come and fill this fair value gap. Okay, the long-term buyers, the weekly buyers for USDJPY is bullish. It is bullish, but you cannot be buying at this point. You should have bought maybe from this point. You should have bought from this point. So it has done over 200 pips. 200 pips. You cannot be buying when a market has delivered over 200 pips. The risk on that on such trade will be too high. Okay, it will be too high. So I would advise you wait for price to pull back before you buy. Okay, all this bullish move we're seeing here is to entice retail traders to jump in and start buying. As you can see, resistance has been broken. Okay, resistance has been broken. Resistance broken. This is a breakout for retail traders. Breakouts. So a lot of retail traders will want to buy. Okay, and when retail traders are buying, the institutions want to sell. Okay, so that's my take on USDJPY. Long-term weekly bias is bullish, but for today, I want to see price pull back to a discount. Maybe they might use the fundamentals to push the price down before going bullish. That's my take on UJ. That's my take on UJ. Okay. Is there another pair? Is there another pair? Okay, someone said we should look at gold. Okay, gold. Gold has really been difficult. It's been difficult, really challenging. I have a trade on since I've been holding that trade since yesterday, and in fact, just hope they've not opened my SL. Okay, so I think my SL is around this area, the low. Yeah, I think is at this low. So it's really been difficult. It's been just, you can see it's been ranging for some time. It's been ranging, and right now there are liquidity residing at the buy side and also liquidity residing at the sell side. This is a cut market, but we are still in the market. It's either stop loss or take profits. I'm still holding the trade. Let's see how it ends. Okay, so right now, like I said, I'm bullish on gold at the moment, but this week I'm expecting gold to sell. Okay, I'm expecting gold to sell. Why did I take a sell trade? I wanted it to pull back. I wanted price. Sorry, why am I buying? I wanted price to pull back to a premium level. Okay, I was expecting price to pull back to a premium level. That was my expectation, and that is likely going to play out maybe when news is released or before the news is released. That's my expectation. I want them to come clear liquidity at this high before going bearish. That's my expectation on gold. Okay, so I would not advise, if you don't have any trade on gold, please, you could wait for the news to be released. That's my advice. As you can see, it has been in a range for some time. So if you don't have any trade on gold right now, you could wait for the news to be released. Or if you want to take a risk, as you can see, this candle, this last candlestick that closed on 1 hour is what? Is an inverted hammer, which indicates change in trend from bearish to bullish. This is an inverted hammer. Okay, so if you are buying from the current market price, your stop loss should be below the low of this candle. Okay, and if you are considering selling, you want to risk selling, you don't want to wait for the news to be released, wait for a candle to close below the low of this bearish candle, then you can risk selling. That will be my take on gold. If you want to sell, wait for a candle to close below the low of this bearish candle. But right now, this is a buy setup. This is a buy setup. If you are buying, your stop loss should be few pips below this level. Okay, your stop loss. Okay, your stop loss should be few pips below this level if you are buying. Okay, and if a candle closes below the low of this candle, you decide to sell, your stop loss should be maybe around this area, above this area. Okay, that's my take on on gold. Okay, so what's my take on the reversal pattern, bullish reversal pattern on 15 minutes? I've shared my bias on EURUSD. Okay, let's see bullish reversal pattern on 15 minutes. Let me see. Okay, so what's happening here now? Okay, so let me go back to, so like I said, it is bearish at the moment. Okay, it is bearish at the moment. If you're considering buying based on what you have here, this is an armor on 15 minutes time frame. Okay, if you are considering buying, I would advise you could wait for price to close above this support, which has become a resistance. This is where I would consider or suggest that you consider buying. Okay, that's my take. Okay, don't jump in and start buying. As you can see, the market has not closed above this bearish candles. You can see the high of this bearish candle. A candle has not closed above it, so you cannot buy until a candle closes above the high of this bearish candle. Okay, this bearish candle that you have here, a candle should close above it. And what I suggest is you wait for price to close above this previous support, which has become a resistance. This is where you confirm you have more demand. Okay, more demand, then you can go in and buy. Okay, so that's my take on euro Australian dollar. Okay, if this current 15 minute does not close above the high of these candles, you shouldn't risk buying if it does not close above the high of this bearish candle. Okay, and if you are buying, your stop loss should be few pips below the low of this candle. Your stop loss should be at least 15 pips below the low of this candle. That's my take on euro Aussie for those who are considering buying. Okay, so on this trade already, I've already adjusted my stop loss to break even, so I'm not taking any risk on this trade at the moment. I'm not taking any risk on this trade. My stop loss is at break even right now. Okay, so that's my take on, let me see what's happening on GJ. Okay, GJ has been battling since last night or since yesterday. You can see no direction on GJ, but I took a sell today. Okay, so let's see how it plays out. You can see it has been in a range for some time. So okay, but my bias for GJ this week is bullish. I'm just waiting for price to pull back. I'm currently trading the pullback. Okay, so that's my take on GBPJPY. It is bullish this week. It is bullish this week. Okay, but I think we'll see it pull back before it goes bullish. I'm expecting price to pull back to, there's liquidity at this area. I want them to come clear liquidity before considering buying. So that's my take on GJ. That's my take on GJ. I hope that is clear. I hope that is clear. Please like this stream, if you are getting value, like the stream. It costs you nothing to click on the like button. Like the stream so that others can see this video. Like it, it costs you nothing. Okay, is there any other pair that we've not analyzed you want me to analyze? Is there any other pair? Let me know. This session to be more than 25 minutes, so we have just like 2 more minutes. If you have any question or any pair you want me to analyze, please drop it in the comment section. I can see your comments. I can't see your comments at the moment. Any question? Please be very conservative today. Several major news from Great Britain pounds, and I think just one major news for the US dollar. So we expect volatility on GBP pairs and USD pairs today. By 12 p.m., GBP pairs become very volatile, and you can see that is why price has kind of been in a range because of the major news. If you're trading GBP pairs, most GBP pairs is ranging at the moment, and that's because of the major news that will be released by 12 p.m., which is like I think 1 hour 30 minutes from now. Okay, no question. All right, if there are no questions, I would have to end this session. Okay, if you have any question, the conversation continues on WhatsApp. If you're not on the WhatsApp group, send me a message so that you can be added to the WhatsApp group. Thank you very much for your participation. I wish you a profitable trading day. Bye for now.